Hi, you all. Welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a read. So there is a full moon today in Taurus, okay? And I just thought that I would just jump on here and basically tell you what's been going on. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So right now I'm like purging. Okay, I'm just purging right now. I'm like in a dilemma. I'm in two worlds right now. I'm just going through a period of like, what do I want in life? There are people who corrupt the system, and there are people who believe in a system. And I'm just trying to figure out like maybe the reason why I am the way I am or why I'm purging is because someone passed away in my family. Okay, it wasn't just this person too as well. It was also how I grew up, where I came from, just my story. Those of you who know my story, I didn't say it to like, I wasn't clear, but if you put two and two together, then right? Um, so like I don't take death well, and so when I do into relationships, intimately, romantically, not really, I say intimately, romantically, right? Platonic, not really platonic, but when it's romantic, I do feel like a sense of death, right? Like I just don't handle it correctly. And recently, I came upon a situation here, and honestly, still to this day, like I feel like I'm hearing womp 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 womp. Like like when you haven't really received, like you haven't really like got the full awaken that there's a death, okay? But and what's my trigger is actually like how they say respect your elders. There's this thing with me where it's just like I just don't take it well. Even when they do respect me, I think it's just something that my ancestors has went through. Okay, like we just went through a lot of like you know, um like death. And I know some people are genuinely psychotic, okay, but I'm not someone who's like off the deep end. But I do notice that the partners that I'm attracting, it is quite let's just say non-traditional. It's a tradition where they are allowing themselves to be fucked over by the system instead of going against the grain for being fucked over the system and believing in the system. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting here wondering like, okay, do I want to make that initial decision here? Because I have been making those decisions where I'm like, I believe in the system, I believe in marriage, I believe in family, I believe in friendship, I believe in all of that. Time will tell, but it's like, do I want to go in that? Honestly, I feel like Satan. Like I don't feel like Satan, but I feel like I'm going in a direction where I feel like Satan is taking over me. Like I'm seeing the word Satan, and then also on top of it, I'm seeing like a certain religion, and I'm just seeing like I feel like I'm being converted, and I don't. I'm not like I feel like you guys are like you're delusional, you're a little hallucinating or something like that, but I'm really not like I feel like a sense of like oh I'm being tested. I feel like is this like a test or something like that? But anywho's yeah, I've been down a road where I've felt I felt like like basically at the end of the day I'm just going through, and it just feels like what do I want at the end of the day? It comes out in ways of like, oh, what kind of guy am I interested in? Am I still into the relationship? Am I still in? Do I still want to do this? I feel like it's really like honestly the whole point of like me going through what I'm going through is just not taking death really well. And I watch stuff on TV and I'm like I act a lot like that. I didn't and the things that they've done. Okay, it's not murder, but the things that they've done is just so it's so cold. It feels like an alley. It feels like I feel like I'm on drugs, and I can't get out. I feel like I'm in Get Out, and the guy he's just like drowning and drowning, and I feel like people look at me and they're just like people who know me. They're just looking at me like you look like you're like a fucking weirdo. Like what is wrong with you? Like and I'm like I feel really hard. Not dick hard, rock hard, obviously, but I'm a female. If you didn't, I'm not a transgender. I'm a female. But just in case, but if I was, there's nothing wrong with you, what I'm saying, not wrong with me, but I'm just saying, like, I would probably never go there. Okay. But yeah, like, it just feels like I am really feeling it, and I try very hard to not let it affect me. And it's just really frustrating. I would have felt you guys are like, are you trying to say hard, like emotional, because we feel it too? No, it's frustrating because I feel like I can't do the proper healing, and I do feel like when I transition, there's an element of like, I can't detach the way how a normal person would detach. I don't have counseling, I have a family, I have responsibilities, and that's just right there. I don't know if it's like, oh, this is something that you went on a path where you were purging, or this is something where you just want to run, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of like be free. But then eventually you do end up matching in energy, and that could be with a guy, a new job, a new girl. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, it's just, what do I want at the end of the day? Because I have responsibilities, and I feel like this new moon in Taurus is just like really like sticking out the obvioso. Like, you just don't deal with death well, and yeah, you just don't deal with death well. And as far as like your personal relationships here, like, it's a sense of like, I feel like it's father issues, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have like I think this is like abandonment. It's abandonment issues. I'm like, it's abandonment issues, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't feel like I'm being abandoned. It just feels more like, don't go, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it's abandonment issues, but I don't think that's the proper term. I think it's more of like you know, I'm just not ready. I'm not ready, and I feel like I haven't spent enough time. I still feel like I need to, go through that judgment period here. So, yeah. So we're going to tap into this energy of a new moon in Taurus here, and let's see what comes out, okay? Hopefully on my journey, because I do see it in my work. I do see it in my work where I'm just like, I could be so much more. I feel like I want to cry. I'm in pain. Everything just hurts. Everything is just like really emotional. Maybe if I was intimately, romantically in a relationship, okay, maybe the way how I wanted it maybe would be best. Okay, but I'm not gonna lie. Even when I'm in romantic relationships, it feels like I'm on a high. Rose-colored glasses, and then after it's gone, it's like, okay, that wasn't the fixer. Okay, I'm not looking to that guy to fix me or that girl to fix me. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm just like, whoo, yeah, that was nice. Even when I'm like having intercourse, I feel so much better when I have like one night stands. Okay, but I have a family, so I can't, but it's like, it feels so much better. But it's like, honestly, the one night stands is something where it's like, I'm running, okay, like I'm running. So it's just something where it's like, what is really the problem? Like, people do have to go, okay, and I'm gonna go one day, right? We're all gonna go one day, but it's just one of those things where it's like, are you ever gonna pull your weight and like actually be on the journey to get married? And I think that's why I haven't successfully gotten married. And honestly, I've noticed that in my relationships here, it's always been things where it's just like, I cannot accept, like, and it has to be like a ego death. Like, it has to be like, me converting. It feels like, for me, on from my perspective, I'm converting. Okay, like, I'm converting to being more like them, and I don't know the identity of myself. So that's why I'm going through right now. Like, what is my identity? What do I want from the situation? Ego death, etc. Here, it's just, yeah. Because I don't want to get into my personal relationship, but if it's more of like so what do we do now, since this didn't go the way how things were? And I'm so stuck on like, okay, so what was your mindset since day one? Because my mindset was here, so it should look a lot like mine's. But if it doesn't look like a lot like mine's, you see like the details, and it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, the person got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. So what do you want out of the situation? And honestly, I'm like, honestly, I want something, and I do notice that I pick things so very little. And it's like, why wouldn't you want something big? Like, people that I want to be with, they want to be with other people's girlfriends, okay? Like, that ex-boyfriend of mine, he wanted to be with somebody else. Like, he was definitely, like, flirting, and he just was being disrespectful and rude, because he's like, if you're going to give up your pussy, if you're going to give it up so easy, then you have a boyfriend, you obviously don't care about getting kicked out, and you're talking about, like, you ain't got nowhere to live, then obviously I'm going to give it to you, because it's like, you're a whore, you know what I'm saying? You're a slut, so you're gonna give it up easy, right? And the guy, he's just like, well, you're being a dick. He's like, to me, you know, he never said that to me, but he's like, hey, you're being a dick. I'm gonna go to somebody who's gonna give it up easy. So the fuck, you know? And then this one that I'm involved with, it's like, well, I guess let's just say he's saying I'm being a dick. And it's just like, you know, well, you could be a dick by yourself, and this is the things that I want, you know? So, you know, and my mom, she tells me, like, oh, you drive them away. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm not really feeling it, because it's like, you're not respecting me. And then it's like, you wasn't really trying to respect me in the first place. So I think it's pretty much the guys, but also I think it's just like, you know, I think it's also like, you know, the people that I'm like, I think it's also me too, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think it's just more like a death situation. So, and I'm not gonna lie, with my ex-boyfriend, I will say, out of all the boyfriends that I've had, I felt the happiest. I felt like that was it for me. It was a very, like, spiritual relationship. It was so, like, in mentally there, you know what I'm saying? But when it came to, like, the real world, it just came to, like, a very, the way how I viewed him, it was just so very, like, I don't like the person you are, because what you explained to me on a spiritual level is not what I see in the physical realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in dreamland, and then in the physical realm, you're not there. You know, you're really harsh, you're really rude, you're really mean, and it kind of reflects my attitude towards him. So it's a really interesting energy. But for me, I just think that at the end of the day, like, it's like, I need to really successfully, like, mourn. And honestly, it's been actually before somebody in my family that passed away, right? So I've just been in this mourning energy. And I think if I go to a therapist, the therapist is going to tell me pretty much the stuff that I'm telling myself. So it's just going to take time, but I do find that in my process of healing, I do notice that certain things, and the way how I say things, and the way how I do things, like, that's the synonyms, is very important to triggering, you know, I successfully healed. Okay, so I'm sorry, I don't have the answer for you when it comes to the relationship, your relationship, or platonically. I would say it takes time, but I think that my greatest advice for you guys would be, like, you know, not to force it and just wing it and then figure it out when you get there, because I've been doing that in my relationships here. But one thing I've been constantly telling myself is, and I think also my mom is telling me this too as well, like, find something or find a guy that you really, really, really like. And I think that is and I'm not saying that I don't like my current, like, exes and stuff like that. I do, but I will admit that I am, like, you know, downplaying, you know, I'm, like, compromising a lot. Okay. And I think that that would be a way for me to just be like, okay, I really like this guy, I really like this girl, and it's coming more from, like, the person that passed away. And then when that person leaves out of my life, I think that I can successfully mourn, because I remember I didn't have enough time to spend with that individual. That's how my body, that's how my ancestors are, like, you know, triggered. Okay, some people, you know, the more I think about this, you know how I talk about incest and child molestation, you know, people don't talk about these things because people really are going through periods of, like, you know, incest and child molestation, etc., like, they need to go through the practice. It's just really ridiculous. It's insane. You know, that's why you have Pornhub, where they have, I don't practice those things, just to make it clear, but because I'm just thinking, like, woo, you know, It's just woo. Okay, but you know, Pornhub, they have like, you know, stepsisters, stepbrothers, you know, they have females that look like little kids, you know, there are fetishes out there. There are fetishes out there. And they are there to heal you. Okay, they are there to heal you. Also, some people you wonder. Some of you guys are wondering like, why is this person with somebody who's abusive? Why did they get back with this person who's abusive? Why did they get back with this person who was like raping them or like molesting their child or whatever it is here? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, if you look at it from a standpoint of like biology, okay, psychologically, okay, they need to do some time, jail time, or go to, you know, psychological they need to go through psychological treatments, okay, and to reprogram their brain, to reprogram their DNA. That's why it's important to not follow every trend, okay, because you're passing that down to your child, and then depending on the person you're mating with, you don't know if they get triggered, you know what I'm saying? So then you meet a bad seed, right? So that is the reason why some people just get with them because they're madly in love with them. And yes, of course, it's ancestors, but it is killing two birds with one stone. I'm not saying to get back with somebody and they're a child molester or they're an incestor or they are domestic violence or they're jealous or envy. You know what I'm saying? We get with tons of people who are envious and jealous, you know, but it's the same thing when it comes to those extreme here, murderers, all that extra stuff here. You know what I'm saying? They need time, and they need time to reprogram their selves. Okay, and that's why the law and these crooked individuals are like very lenient because they understand that it's a biology thing. Okay, it is an ancestor thing. Okay, whether these like the stuff in the Bible is true or not really sure, but I do believe that the Bible has, you know, a rhythm. It has a rhythm and it's stating the obvious. And it is something where it's like, okay, if you can't agree to one thing, we can all agree on one thing. And you know, so, yeah. And I think that answers my question with my current situation. I think that I really would like to just have my family around, okay? And I would really like to marry someone who is, you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, someone who's all about me. I'm not gonna lie, like, because, you know, family is important to me, but I love my husband. I'm someone who loves my husband. I just love my husband. I've been always someone who, like, you know, who just loves, I love my child, I love my kids, I love everyone, but I'm someone, just personally, I love my husband. And some people love their children more than their husband or their wife, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I just love my husband. And my husband just has to, like, love me as well. You know, I don't want somebody who's just, like, you know, and I think that's why all my exes has been, like, you know, on the other side with other females here, and I had such intense connections. Because it's like, I love you madly, but if you piss me off, I'm gonna go to the other woman. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a lot of women, but I don't know. Like, I just feel like, you know, that's just kind of one thing. But I want my husband to not go to no other woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those. Okay, so. I think this new moon and Taurus here is just really helping us like dissect like the specifics of just like what we want, and not what we want, but what we should be going for, okay, in order to get to our goals or get to the next step, okay, because I'm really like feeling it in my heart chakra, and I'm just like, wow, like that's a lot, you know, and yeah, if my husband is not all for me, then it is what it is, you know, that's just not the right guy for me. Okay, so let's get into it here. If you guys are breastfeeding, maybe you guys should do some exercising for your breasts. Okay, maybe you guys are thinking about that. So that's your confirmation. We have the 5 of Pentacles, Taurus energy, Earth energy, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Empress in reverse here. Not too bad, because since the Empress is in reverse here, that means that you don't understand everything exactly as a whole. Like, you're missing 1% out of the 99.9%. Okay. With the Five of Pentacles, you're missing the crucial part of this full moon. So what are we missing? What is the viewers missing? The Three of Swords here, purging and not overthinking. You just have to like, it's like you have to do fire magic, right? You need to write something in the note and then let it go. Okay, write something in the note and then let it go. Six of Wands energy, over energy. Maybe you guys, yeah, the Six of Wands energy. This is how you guys are gonna be victorious, and other people are gonna follow you as well. It's interesting because I actually did this to somebody back in the days, and I don't know. I haven't gotten a response. I haven't really gotten a response or anything, but yeah, it was just interesting. But maybe that's a message for you guys. But with the Three of Swords here, this is about healing and not overthinking it, right? Like just going through the purging stages, okay? With the Six of Wands here, Five of Cups here, just let it be. I'm hearing if it's meant to be, then it'll be. Like, just let it go. And I think maybe in the message here, I just needed to say, like, you know, purge and then let it go. Okay? Because at the end of the day, with the Six of Wands here and the Empress, you guys, if you guys want to get pregnant again, you are going to get pregnant again. If you guys want to have more children, you are. You just have to understand, if you went through a miscarriage too as well here, you just have to understand, you went through some pain, you went through something traumatic. It's going to take time, and not only you, but everyone else and this other person as well is agreeing, okay? So it's something where it's traumatic. And if it's not the person you're thinking about here, or if this person, if cross watches you're here and you're like, well, that's not my energy, this is what they're going through. And I am seeing that you guys are going to get back in the ring, okay? So because I've seen the Empress, like if you just take that and the Six of Wands here, all the successful cards here, yeah, there's a pregnancy here. There's a pregnancy coming up here. This is somebody who wants to marry you, or your potential here. It's gonna be also being in a relationship, and yeah, like they're just really admiring the qualities of you. Okay. Queen of Swords here. Somebody could be bitter. The air sign is bitter. This is somebody who has a hygiene problem, or they need to work on themselves here. I'm seeing a Wheel of Fortune too. Like things are now moving in the right direction. Magician, yeah, see, so yeah, you're manifesting this here as we speak. Is it like a pregnancy, or you guys are like being crowned as, like, I'm hearing the lawyer, or like you're being crowned as like very biblical, you're being crowned as like, you know, the one and true only. Okay, over energy, we have the King of Cups in reverse here. Yeah, this is you coming out of you guys are coming out of being emotionally unavailable, or emotionally, you know, immature. Okay, and then you guys are manifesting, like with the Empress here, the Six of Wands here, success and your knowledge. Okay, your fertility. Okay, it's potent. Okay. Yeah. Eight of Pentacles in reverse here. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that, is there anything else that the viewers need to know? Yeah, this is talking about like problems and moving on. Is there anything else? Queen of Wands here. This is just like vitality energy. Okay, over energy, Temperance here. You guys are moving really fast and like being vibrant, social, enthusiastic, confident, sexy. Okay. Three of Wands here. Yeah, this is where you guys are moving into. Yeah, so there's an element of just like excuse me, there's an element of just like being this live individual here and getting back in the ring. Okay, that's what that's about, getting back in the ring. And you have other people following you too as well. You're a leader. You're a leader in your family, at your job, in your relationship here. your future relationship here. This is what's manifesting for you. That's why you guys are purging. Now, if you guys are going to get, I don't know if you guys are going to get pregnant or you guys are going to get married by your ex or your current boyfriend, situation, wife. Yeah, but yeah, I'm also getting like too, like, you know, so funny what I've been thinking about lately is like, imagine everybody in your building has gotten married or has a, you know, successful relationship, and you're the only one that hasn't gotten into an successful relationship, or you guys haven't been the only, you guys are you guys are the only one that didn't get married. I feel like also your counterpart is thinking about this too as well, you know, but I feel like it's because your pain is so grand, you know, your pain is so grand, your pain is so grand, and I feel like this is, you know, you have like people's like looking at you like you got a dick on your forehead, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like these are people who are settling, you know. I'm not gonna lie, these are people who are settling, like, you know, shorty's a bum, you know, somebody's not gonna get off their ass and it's gonna be the same old bullshit, you know. But you want something special, you know, you want something special, and you don't want to just have something just for the life of it, you know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, I mean, so what? Like, you know, like, you know, if people get married, people are in a relationship, if people are like, you know, or you guys are in a relationship and it's like boring or whatever the situation is, just let things be. Just let things be. Don't judge, because the minute you judge or the minute you focus on somebody else here is your time that you taken away from yourself to be thinking about your potential, or you catching on the frequency, the wheel of fortune of getting to your quality energy. Okay, so don't worry about that. I've been tapping into that, and quite frankly, I just think that I have a person in my energy where they're just very like low vibrational, where they're just like, oh, I'm gonna get married, you're taking your time, you know, you're such a dick, like, you know, wouldn't that be funny? Oh, they're just such a dick, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. And it's emotional abuse. By the way, you can sue someone for emotional abuse, okay? But it's emotional abuse here. Honestly, if a person in your energy and your camp is talking like that, you know what? Honestly, you could be the fastest one. You can actually go get married. You can actually go be in a relationship. You go get there first. Because I already know what type of bitch you're going to have. Okay? You're going to be emotionally abusing their ass. You're going to be thinking you're always right, just like in this relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just leave us alone. Just leave us alone. You go be happy and stop, like, you know, trying to make me feel bad, trying to make us feel bad, okay? Because it's not working. And, you know, go live your life, okay? But you know what? You're probably not going to do that because you want to see what type of bag that I have, what type of income I have. So that way you can go out and go find better, right? So, yeah. But yeah, this is where you guys are heading into. Okay, so let's use my tickle deck. Let's use my tickle cards and see what comes out for this energy. I feel like I was crying a whole bunch. I was purging. Okay, we have help yourself. I like this. E9. If you see something, cut it off. This is the time to #double, start grinding and follow your gut. Know and not know. Use things/people to help along the way. Okay. I like that. Okay, so we have, in all honesty, let go as the over energy. This is about taking action. Taking action. Things are complicated, but it's just an opportunity for you to figure out what's your self-worth. Accept the truth and move on. Don't stress. No free radicals here. #smile. The same energy should be reciprocated. Let's just say we're impatient, but you can be. It wasn't yours anyways to begin. White with. #smile. So I also want to talk about something too before we go. I also like, yeah, I don't want to be specific, okay? Just in case, you know, someone is, you know, but like, you know, let's just say in the energy, there was something that I didn't like about a person. You know, everything was going so well, and then something just came off like so reactive. And maybe I was reactive as well. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I shouldn't have like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit triggered because I was like, oh, like, you know, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of being like judgmental because I was like, do you not see how you look? Like, do you not understand that, like, that's your culture and everything, but it's like, do you see, like, that's how you, like, how you look and, like, how you're moving? Like, if we're in a situation, like, you don't care about your image, and I just didn't like the way how the reactor came off, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I'm just asking a question, but, clearly I'm quite triggered, because it's like, can you fucking care about your appearances? Like, I feel you guys are like, wow, like, that's kind of, but it's like, honestly, like, where we're at and where I'm at and, like, what I want to look like in life, you're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that it's killing like two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? Like the message that you're giving off and like how you're moving and stuff like that. It's just something where it's like, can you please for fucking once, can you like really like talk my fucking language and that's it? Like, can you talk to me sometimes? Like, can you fluctuate? Can you be mutable? You know what I'm saying? And I think that, I mean, and it's like, to be quite honest too, it's like, don't make it seem like this is just fucking my idea. Like, you was going down this road as well. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot say like it's just me. You know what I'm saying? It's not just me. Okay. And I just was like a little bit like, you see, we're doing great, but like, it's always like almost, you know what I'm saying? And I think that this is just one of those things where it's like growing pains, and it's just like to really like see the person for what they are and get to that level of respect, like respecting them, and then like just like looking at them and then like acknowledging that respect, okay, and not reacting. Know your boundaries when engaging and initiating and performing and whatever the situation is, right? Know your boundaries, and I think that maybe if things were different, I think that maybe we would have never hit it off, okay, because of the language that you, or the performances that you perform, right? But who knows? Like, that's also my dilemma too, because I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, where I'm so confused. Like, it's like time needs to slow down, and that's why I'm in this predicament where it's like, regardless of like how you feel and what you're saying, I genuinely like want to know, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, it's so much fucking knowledge at all at the same time. Like, it's just so, and I'm just like, is it the way like how things just happen? It's just like, it's just so frustrating. But at the same time, it's like, it's just like one of those things where it's just like, okay, maybe I should have never asked. Okay, maybe I should have never asked. Maybe I should have never, like, but it's like, oh, that's where things was going. And it's like, okay, so you're triggered. You don't like when I talk like that. Okay. And then it's like, okay, I don't like when you react that way. And it's like, honestly, I think it's just some bullshit, because it's just like, okay, like, it's not nothing for sensitivity to come up. Just be like, okay, that's knowing that's how someone is, you know what I'm saying? But then I think from his perspective, or from the energy perspective, or her perspective, just to cover my ass so you guys know this person doesn't, you know what I'm saying? I think from that person's perspective, they're just like, okay, well, if you don't want to push somebody away, again, like, if you respectfully if you know this person like really well, and you just like, oh yeah, you'll just know not to cross that line, right? Okay, so, but I'm like, if we have something in common, like, it's just something where it's like, isn't it supposed to be so fucking easy, but why is it so complicated? Like, it's just one of those things, okay? So that is all that I have for you guys. That is all that I have for you guys. I feel you guys are like, you're so confusing, but I'm not like, the overall, what I'm just trying to say is like, I was just triggered, okay? Because I was just so annoyed with the fact that, like, can you really care about like the way how you look? Like, care about how you look, please, because it freaks me out. Like, it annoys me. And it's like, it's a lot of covering, and you got a lot of stupid people, idiot people walking around. And let's just do process of elimination. It gives me like a fucking anxiety attack. Like, just please look the way how, just look like, just look normal, okay? Like, just match. Okay, because there's so much things that you don't see. There's so much things that like my subconscious sees and I see and I try, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, like maybe you should tell me what you're really trying to say into other people in a way where it doesn't piss people the fuck off, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. But then it's like, do we get to a space where it's like, oh, this is who you are? And I'm like, dude, like, you understand this is not how you are. This is just how the culture talks, right? So just find a point, find a like a space where you can find who you are and talk normal. Like, just talk where it just doesn't, so we can get to this ground where we can mend things. But I feel like this is somebody that's gonna be such a fucking jackass and be like, no, I'm annoyed by what the fuck you're saying about me. Or what, like how I look. Of course I feel stupid now because you just said that I look stupid. Sensitive, you know what I'm saying? I like, sensitive. And it's just like, oh my God, I feel like I gotta like have a fucking rod up my ass. Like, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it would just make everybody fucking happy in the world, or everyone fucking happy in this relationship. Not me and you guys here, but like me and this person's relationship. And I think that all will be fucking well. And it'll be like, like, it's like, why is like everybody so fucking happy on Christmas Eve or on Christmas, and we're the only one that's not happy on Christmas or Christmas Eve? Like, it's just really, I mean, you're like, that's what this is about? Like, it's just, oh my God, like, just please. You're the only one that's wearing fucking flip-flops, and it's fucking like 20 degrees outside. It's 20 degrees outside, and you're wearing fucking flip-flops. Okay, like, what is it? You're not even like trying to like stand out. Okay, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, like, and if you're talking about that, like, please, like, say it a different way. Like, you just fucking flip-flops. Fucking flip-flops. Flip-flops. You couldn't choose like Timberland boots, or like a fucking sunglasses for flip-flops. You know what I'm honestly thinking about? I'm thinking about like swim, what the fuck are you calling those things? Like swim flops? Them swim, you put them shits on your the flims, feet flims. Swim, what the fuck? like, oh my gosh. And it's just like, oh my God, just no chancletas, no flip-flops, okay? Just no flip-flops, okay? That's it. And you know what? Let's be French. Let's be people who has like strong mannerisms. Oh my gosh, you're not having a good hair day. That's fine. You're not smelling the best. Oh, is it biology or is it just your hygiene? We can fix that. Just don't wear fucking flip-flops. Like, and some of you guys here, this person may be so fucking petty, and they're just being like, oh, I'm just petty because you embarrassed me in front of the whole world, or you embarrassed me in front of like my school, or this. Just do it. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? You understand like why certain people are at the social class that they are? Because they don't give a fuck, and they just do it. Just to make everyone feel happy at the end of the day. And then you know what? When they're in the moment, oh my God, like, I actually feel better. I don't feel like the way how I felt when I was wearing them stupid ass flip-flops. I'm trying to help you because I was wearing flip-flops too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? Like, oh my God. That's all that I have for you guys here. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to like, subscribe, and to share. Look at the description box below. See what I have to offer you. Check out my Instagram. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.